This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good morning. Commissioners, staff, and citizens, since this is a remote meeting, some initial comments are appropriate. As required by the governor's March 24th proclamation, the Lake Stevens Sewer District is holding its commission meetings remotely using the GoToMeeting platform. While this is not our norm, we're glad to be able to ensure continuity of business operations. Members of the public who are participating, we're very grateful for your support and patience while we work through this interim way of doing business. Members of the public have been invited to join via the virtual meeting format of GoToMeeting. The public comment section of our agenda will be handled in the following way. First, comments or questions that were emailed to the Sewer District customer service or otherwise received sufficiently in advance of the meeting will be read during public forum. And then second, during the meeting, anyone wishing to comment during public forum may use the chat box feature and you will be provided with the opportunity to comment. Board members, we're going to take attendance by calling your name, and then please indicate whether or not you can clearly hear me and others on the line, and we need to do our very best to speak one person at a time so that our note taker can take minutes. All right, commissioners in attendance. Here. Commissioner Koshik.
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you.
Okay, great. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. How do we like the agenda today?
I like it. I'd make a motion that we approve the agenda unless there's any last minute ads.
The only thing that I do want to say, excuse me, is that we will be going into executive session. It doesn't say that down there, but we will be having executive session.
Okay.
Okay.
It is on there as a number 11.
I just didn't say yes that we would do it. So.
Okay. Yeah. Commissioner Lorenzen, can you still hear us?
I can. I would go ahead and make a motion to accept that with the addendum of the executive session at the end.
Okay. No addendums needed since it's there, but okay. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Consent items A through I.
I'd make a motion that we approve consent items A through I.
I would second that.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Public forum. Tara, did we receive any comments from the public?
We did not.
Okay. Anybody on the line wishing to comment? Hearing none. We'll move on to old business then. A, professional engineering service contract amendment number 27 with Gray and Osborne to include the construction management for the Vernon Business Center parking lot in the amount of $26,620.
District staff has reviewed the contract amendment and we recommend it for approval. It also covers, one thing I would add is that it also covers some costs that Grant Osborne's incurred that was outside the original scope of the last contract amendment, which was only for design. So there's also some bid assistance in the in this scope as well. And district staff recommends it for approval.
Any questions? All right.
No questions for me. I make a motion that we accept the bid as I don't know if they can hear me. I make a motion we accept the bid as recommended by staff and legal for Gray and Osborne.
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. There's no new business. And then managers report A, general manager.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Just a couple things. Our building is done, other than a couple of punch list items we went through with the contractor and engineering services on Tuesday. Little things, but otherwise it's done. And we have a little bit of painting to do in the customer service area. And once that's done, we'll move the ladies back into their workspace. But it's looking, I think it looks really good. I've sent you all a picture of it. And then right above the door, we're going to be putting, there's a pretty big void area. We'll be putting Lake Stevens Sewer District on that void area there. Some bronze letters or something like that. We are starting labor negotiations probably in mid-September. So that will be coming up. We are going to ask for a longer term, 3 to 5 years, just to let you know that we are going to be doing that. And I got word for our liability insurance. We added a lift station and we increased some other areas. And I'm happy to say that our premium went down $16,000. So even adding a new lift station and additional service coverage, we did see a decrease in our premium. So I'm very happy about that. So otherwise, business as usual.
Great. Assistant GM.
All right. Last Monday was the deadline for submittal of statement of qualifications from engineering firms to complete our 2022 comp plan. Although 3 firms contacted the district stating their interest in the project, Gray and Osborne was the only firm that provided a statement of qualifications. Tentatively, we're trying to schedule a scoping meeting for the 15th for the project. And we did reach out to the city to keep them apprised of the situation and also to invite them to the meeting. The maintenance management portion of CityWorks is now live. The crews have been working on it with it all week. Angeline and I have a little bit of touching up to do, work out some glitches and bugs, but otherwise the maintenance management portion's good. We also have quite a bit of work to do to try to automate as much of the tasks as we can to make the software auto-populate a lot of the reoccurring maintenance. So we have a little bit of that to do, and then fine-tuning our mapping software. Yeah, but for the most part, it's substantially complete. And we're really happy with the work that Timmons Group has done, and Angeline's really taken a great leadership role in getting this project to fruition. So a lot of kudos go out to Angeline. Lift Station 22 has a few punch list items for Strider to complete, but otherwise is physically complete, and we're very, very near the finish line for that. I have reached out to Pace. There's some additional work we're going to need to do as far as odor control for that lift station. I think we underestimated the odor control needs for that during design. The wastewater is staying in the system much longer than we had anticipated. So there's some fine tuning as far as downstream lift stations, lift station 22 or 21 and lift station 7, adjusting set points to try to make them pump a little bit more frequently to try to mitigate some of that odor. But yeah, we even made some modifications to the existing or what was constructed to try. We added a 30-gallon barrel of activated carbon to scrub the air even more, and it's not sufficient. So we're still working on that. The Mountain View plat has started construction, as has Hillcrest, Sedona, and Weinberg plats. And As Tanya had mentioned, the Vernon Business Center improvements are substantially complete. There's a few punch list items remaining, but the bulk of the work is done and looks good. We're excited for that. Just in time to get things back to normal to tear them up again when we start the project, the parking lot. So, any questions?
On the odor challenge with 22, do we have some residents that have been affected by that? And what's kind of our communication plan with those folks as we go through the different things we're trying, if there are folks that have expressed concern?
Yeah, there are residents near the lift station that have expressed concern. It's mostly at night when flows slow down that the odor gets the worst. So we reach out as soon as, doesn't matter what time we get the call, we reach out to the customers and we try to let them know that we're doing all we can and that it's a work in progress. It's not how it's going to be forever.
Kevin, there's one particular gal that's been working with us. She actually will message me via our Facebook page, and she's been, we've responded really fast. Brian has a great relationship with her. It's really a good relationship. They just are like heads up. They know that we're working on it, and it's just something we have to work on. But they're not mad. They're just saying, hey, did you know? And so It's been really, and our response has been really good and favorable. And so I think that helps them know that we're working on this.
Yeah. And it's rarely the problem, it's how a problem is responded to. So fantastic. Appreciate it. Last
week she sent me a message. I don't know, John, what time was it? 9:30, 10 o'clock, and we were on it. And that's really good service in my world. So if someone's responding that quick, and so she's just really happy. So
if I can get our TAC to respond that quick, I'd be happy. So that's great.
Yeah.
Right. Treatment plant update.
Good morning. Operations flow are 7-day average 2.29 million gallons a day normal. Filterability is tracking well. We performed the annual primary clarifier rotation on Tuesday. Washed down, inspected, and filled the offline unit with effluent for storage. We're doing weed eating, general fair weather plant cleanup. That's all. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Casey. City report.
Thank you, Mariah. Business as usual here. Just a lot of maintenance going on. Crews are still working over at Frontier Heights, installing the irrigation. Once that's backfilled, we can get that project seeded and get some grass growing, hopefully before winter is our goal there. In regards to the city budget, our budget revenues are pretty well right on, actually a little ahead of where we anticipated to be. As you know, the city is primarily property tax based, so we're in a lot better shape than many cities that are sales tax dependent. But our sales tax is up slightly, so that's encouraging. And we're working on the 2021 budget right now. The study for the old treatment plant, I know that's been weighing on people's mind whether that's going to get done or not. I checked with the Riley Group, and the study is complete, but it's in Paul Riley's court. He's the principal there to do the final review before they kick that out, and he is on vacation this week, so it'll be first part of next week before we see that. And that's what I have for you.
One question on that. So I appreciate the update on the old wastewater treatment plant. So walk me through kind of the timeline of the report lands on the desk. What's the plan in terms of who's involved in reviewing that? How long do you anticipate that being reviewed? What's the decision-making process after it's been reviewed, and you kind of come to a agreement on what the fact pattern is? What does those next 3 or 4 steps look like?
Well, we'd have to look at it as a staff, see where we're at, and see if it's something we want to move forward with, and then get with the city council and review it with them as well and see if they are on board. And and then make a decision after that.
Okay, what does that timing look like then? So we get the report by Friday of next week, puts us at the early September. How does that timeline look like?
Timeline to get it in front of the city council after that would be
Mid-September.
mid-September. We could get it to a workshop if we did a workshop on the 15th in front of the city council. And if that didn't work, then it would be the retreat that is the 25th.
Okay. Is the workshop, does that give, the 2 weeks would be sufficient time for staff to kind of get their arms around the report, that kind of thing? Is that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. And is the workshop on the 15th scheduled, or is that to be scheduled, or
It's going to have to be scheduled because there's a lot of stuff on the retreat right now, and we got to start backing some things into some workshops. So you bet.
Okay. And then when the council meets, whether it's at workshop or whether it's at the retreat, is the anticipation that there would be a decision at that point that says, yep, we want it, or no, we don't? Would there be now there might be some procedural things, but would there be a decision? Would you anticipate a decision being made in that?
Well, the workshop would get everybody on board with ideas of what we can do with it, if we grab it, and then procedurally we could see something. If they came out of a workshop on the 15th with head nods north and south, and we could do something procedurally on the 22nd.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it. It's been a long journey, so I just would like to stick to the end of September as having a decision one way or the other, and line up whatever needs to be done. If there's things that the district or we can do to help and make sure that happens, let us know. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Kevin.
The good part, Kevin, from talking to the Riley Group is that they really haven't found anything that was of surprise and is in like the scary zone, if you will. The last part of the puzzle was to go out and look at the pylon that the office was sitting on, and those are old creosote timbers. It is what it is. They use those for years and years everywhere. So, but other than that, they hadn't discovered a lot. So that's really, really encouraging for no matter what.
Yeah, the house I grew up in still sits on creosote pilings built in '74, and there's no sheetrock cracks in it. So hopefully they found the same thing.
Great. Commissioners' reports.
Well, the only thing that I would say is thanks to staff. Everybody's doing a great job. It's great to hear that we are saving some money, adding another lift station and everything like that as far as our liability looking forward. It's great to see the lift station is up and running with some issues, and I know we'll do a great job on getting the outer control done. And I look forward to step with the Vernon Business Center parking lot being completed and moving forward with that. I did see the picture of the building. It looks awesome, but it was a thumbnail. That's all I could really see from my phone. But other than that, I mean, it's nice just to see the scaffolding gone.
Great, thanks. Kevin?
Yeah, I don't have anything. The picture looked great. Can't wait to take a socially responsible and distant run around the main floor there and sign some things tomorrow. And no, looking forward to seeing it. I appreciate everything everybody does. One of the questions on the liability insurance, was there anything cited there, Tanya? Is that are we getting a benefit of I assume it's, minimal claims and just that piece of it, but does the COVID thing, and does that have anything to do, or did they give an explanation, or we just said thank you? And
well, my initial thing was thank you, but I do have an 11 o'clock meeting with Sean, our broker, and I plan to ask him what it is. I'm guessing that a lot of it is the fact that we've had no claims, and this is, I believe, our 4th year with Travelers, and we've only had let me see, I think we've had 2 claims with them on the very beginning, and one was off of Stitch Road, and then another one was the incident down here at the treatment plant.
Right.
So
Okay.
that it's been a couple years free, but I'll talk to Sean about it at 11 o'clock, after 11 o'clock today.
Yeah, it'd be great if, be able to reflect the, safety orientation saves. Yeah, this is fantastic. I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah, I am curious as well. I did not expect that. So
okay. Great. Thank you. That's all I got, Maura.
you're welcome.
And I have nothing else to add. So with that, we can move into executive session with the preamble. Is there any expected decisions or anything after that, or how long do we expect this one to last?
I do have a few things, and I do expect that we will have to make a decision. So I would anticipate, I don't know, maybe we could start with 30 minutes and go from there.
Okay.
Right.
Brad, would you like to do the preamble?
I would be happy to. And what I have as topics are contract negotiations and review of the performance of a public employee. Is that what is on your list, Tanya?
That would be correct.
Okay. The commission will now recess into executive session for the purpose of discussing with their legal counsel contract negotiations and review of performance of a public employee. The executive session is anticipated to last for 30 minutes, at the conclusion of which the commission will return to regular session, and there is the possibility that the commission will take action on the matters that were, one or more of the matters that were discussed in executive session. There is the possibility that the executive session will be extended, in which case the commission will return to regular session and announce its that the anticipated time of the extended executive session, and then return to its executive session. So the commission will now recess into executive session.
All right. Alrighty.
Okay, I see he's still
Tarek,
on. He's muted.
What's that?
Okay, I'm going to pause recording now.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right. So we need to extend the executive session for another half hour. So we're looking at about 10:20.
All right. So yeah, we'll recess back into executive session now.
Perfect.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I guess the Board of Commissioners are back in service. This is Commissioner Lorenzen. I know my voice is a little bit different than Commissioner Lowe's, and we have no decisions to be made, so we will go ahead and conclude this board meeting.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Perfect. All right. Everybody have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon and keep you in the loop.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.